plan.
Oh, hey guys! So today I'm going to meet this person who has been so inspiring to me, and her content has been always very insightful and meaningful, and I wish to share with all of you guys. So come and join me! So for today's interview, we would love to thank Kyonsai Bakery for allowing us to use their beautiful space. Good coffee, good cake, you'll think of Kyonsai Bakery, and of course, their friendly staff will help to serve you well. Hi, so today we're going to do a chat with Grace. Yeah, so maybe Grace, can you share a little bit about yourself and like what you do?
So hi everyone, I'm very happy to be able to be here and then have a chat with Apelia. So I am a freelance writer. I wrote novels and in my spare time, most of my time I am a hybrid mom because I homeschool two of my kids and I send one of my kids to the public school.
Oh, that's a very interesting profile. For you, what do you think is your biggest fear or concern when it comes to your child's education today?
Maybe more like my biggest concern because now we are in the AI generation, and the thing about AI, it moves very fast. Before we also have like a small revolution in the job market here and there, but usually it will take like 5 or maybe 10 years because before the other jobs are completely not usable anymore. But now in the AI, the speed is very fast. So I think I'm more concerned about how can they find a job in the future, because now most of the early entry job, which is very important for the young person to learn how to work in the working environment, most of this early entry job will be eliminated by AI. So it will be very hard for the next generation to find a working experience to start their jobs.
Quite scary to see how AI has been progressing even for the
Yes.
last 1-2 years, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do you actually personally help your child to navigate this?
My husband he's an associate professor in NUS in the School of Computing. So we talk a lot about the AI thingy at home. Just yesterday, he told me like, wow, this one AI He tried to ask the AI to do certain of the exam question, but this one is with a different module. So the first one is the narration, and then he give a graph and then ask to combine between the narration and then the graph, and the AI can do it, and the AI can do it correctly. So that's why the thing that I told my kids almost everyone can do well in things that they like. Nowadays, a lot of people say that, oh, you have to follow your passion. I know that this one is very important, but in any jobs, even the jobs that you love, I'm doing jobs that I really love. My husband is also, we are very blessed that we can be able to do jobs that we really love and we are really passionate about. But even in the jobs that we love, there are certain things that we don't really like to do. Right?
Yeah.
There's no such thing in job that you will love every single aspect of that job. It's almost impossible. So I asked my kids that I want you to train to do things maybe not very well, but quite okay, even in the things that you don't like. So you don't pick and say that, oh, I don't like this subject, I don't want to study it at all. Yeah. So this is what I think is more into the grit, and also how they still do their best even in the things that they don't really like.
So in your line of work, or maybe your husband's line of work, what do you guys think as a parent that is the most important thing to prepare your kids for the future?
This is quite hard. Okay, I cannot answer for my husband because he may have a different answer, but for me, since I'm a writer, and then a lot of people say that, oh, in the future, our novel will be written by AI. In fact, there's some books that already not fully written by human. I think for me that they must be able to have a very thick skin and then not be afraid to try, and then we'll try it again and again and again, even though it may be fail. But I also believe that if they are very good in their subject, you will able to find something. So, for example, in the past, before we have a camera, a lot of people, if you want to have your own picture, then you will have to have a painter, right? But now, since they have their own camera, they don't need that many painter anymore. But does that mean that we don't have any more painter now? Of course not. We still have painter. But the painter that we have right now, it must be someone that's really good. Really, really good. And only the best in their industry that maybe will be able to survive. So for example, in the writing world, of course, there may be people are going to write some of their part with the AI. But after I read the parts that not written by human, I can feel like, okay, the sentence is good, the vocabulary is rich, but it still feel a little bit empty. While when we write from our heart, the one that will make some connection with the readers. So I still believe that if you do well in your subject, if you do well in your field, you will still find something to do.
That's really very, very heartening to hear, because it's really quite a scary future.
But it's also very hard because you need to be one of among the best to be survive in that field. So I think before AI, maybe like the top 50% can survive quite well. But now after AI, maybe only like the top 20% that can survive well.
So that's why I think the attitude is very important as well. The fighting spirit is more important than all this, like, whatever skills, right?
The fighting spirit, and also how to always give your best in doing the things that you do. It will make the difference. Well, before you can just be like, oh, okay lah, so camera. But now I don't think if you just submit the so one, wow, the AI will be boom.
So you mentioned that actually all your kids were homeschooling, but one of them actually went to the public school.
Yes.
So is there any challenges adapting to mainstream school?
For my son, he actually doesn't really have that many challenges. We put him under a neighborhood school very near to our house. So at first my goal is only, okay, you only need to learn how to go to school, do not be late, wear your shoes for 8 hours. Because before, he's not used to wear his shoes for 8 hours. And then just follow everything. We don't have like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be the top of your class. No, that's not. I don't know, maybe it's because our goal is also pretty simple. Pretty still, as long as you can follow and I don't get a call from your form teacher saying that you do some bad things, I'm happy already.
So actually, I'm pretty curious. I just thought about it. Like, I mean, when you're doing homeschooling, you have the luxury to teach whatever you want. They can learn whatever they want. But when you go to local school, there's some kind of like structure, right?
Yes.
So what make you make this decision, if you don't mind to share?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because for me and my husband, we observe all of our 3 kids, and then we think that the number 2 is the one that the MOE will like this boy. He's very chatty, and then he likes math, and he has quite a good memory. So I think, oh, this one is the type of the students that maybe will do well in the Singapore mainstream system.
Okay, I understand. Just one more question. If you can rewind the clock, what would you have done differently in terms of your kids' education?
If I can remember, I think I will still homeschool them, and then I think I will still homeschool my son up to the P5, because I can see that it is good for him. Well, actually it's not only him, but all of my kids, they have more like the independent study. So I don't need to like bugging them to ask, do you have any homework or something? But maybe if I can turn back the clock, maybe I will read more books to them. And maybe I will bring them to the bookstore more to buy the books that they want. Before I'm very cheapo, just go to the library, borrow, and then
Okay, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.